Okay, so now we've got these little things right here. I'll release it. Now this one has a spring on it, so it's not so easy to just release. Gonna have to pull back on it. Get it to release. And then gonna have to pull the spring out of it too. The spring hook's right at the bottom there. Alright, so that's loose. Now, let's get to taking the carburetor off itself. And that's these four. So, let's find which four of them are. Ah, it is metric. Means it's probably a 10. Yep, it is. Ooh, come here. I'm just breaking them loose right now. Alright, now that they're all broke loose, I can go. Unless I keep my hand under it in case it tries to fall. Now these studs right here stay in the block, so we ain't got to worry about it falling. But them nuts we was taking off a while ago, they could have fell. So that's what I meant by that. Alright. Now, let's see if there's anything in the way over here. I know I've got to take that off, but that ain't what I'm looking at. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you that too. Okay, this thing right here has to come off. And I will need to check that for cracks and stuff in it while I've got it off too. Because if this stuff doesn't get proper ventilation, it won't work right. Okay, there's the carburetor's off. Now there's a spacer in there. See the spacer? You have to make sure that stays there. Now you can see the carburetor, which badly needs a bath. I think I'm going to give it one. Alright. Okay, you see me take the carburetor off, but what's not in this video is where I took the bowl off of it, and I took the big flangey thing that made it look so big off of it, so on and so forth. But then I went through and I took a little piece of wire like you'd get off from a bread twist, and you melt the plastic off of it, and you got a little piece of metal you can poke through the little holes there to unclog them. You can take an air blower and, you know, finally blow through it. Don't put maximum pressure, just a little bit, and clean them out. I did not pull the float off of it. I left that on. It was working great, so I didn't have to disassemble that. Anyway, cleaned it up real good and so on and so forth. But I don't have video of that. So you're just going to see me fooling around with the heart of the carburetor a little bit here, and then the next video will be where I put it back on. I don't like breaking these seals. So oh man, broke that one good. The screwdriver slipped all the way down through there. Of course it did. Of course it did. One that has to have airways is the very one I slipped down through. Okay, so that's them, and they're completely clean.
Okay, what about these though? See, these are clean, they go all the way through to here. Then you got these little ones right here. And I can hold it up towards the sun, I can see light through them, so all of them's good. So this carburetor should work. Outside of me tearing the seals all to pieces. No, but it really should. It should work. And it's obvious it's seen better days, but nothing that should keep it from working. Right there, you got grime all over the rubber seal. How in the world was that thing not leaking? Okay, I'm gonna clean some of this stuff off. I've cleaned it up. I'm gonna clean it up a little more with this stuff. Gonna wash the carburetor out. And of course, clean the inside of it and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just going to get this stuff off. I didn't have to. I put tape over the inlet hole there. Keep stuff from getting down in it. Like I said, I didn't have to do this. This is just a little bonus, if you will. Alright, now couple pieces get down here. Alright, now I looked everywhere and only one place had it, and it was somebody had returned it. So I'm going to have to cut off their hack-up job to put it back in the box. Don't know why they hacked it up though. I don't know the reasoning behind it. But it seemed alright to me, so I went with it. There was one other place I could have looked that might have had it. Okay, compare them up. Looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. Same height. Everything's the same. It's the right one. Now, that filter I was just taking off of there, that's this thing. It was that dry rotted. Okay, this is a secondary filter, which, you know, they stuck in it, and it goes around the outside edge, which is what got me looking for the filter anyway, because I wanted this filter on it. This gets the finer particles. It's not actually necessary, you don't have to have it, but some motors, their vacuum system relies on all this stuff being in there properly to give it the right amount of fuel, because it knows that this stuff's supposed to be there. It knows it's supposed to have a certain amount of draw to it, and if it's not there, it throws the thing out of whack. So I wanted this back in there. So now that's back like it should have been all along. Okay. Now, see what we did it to. start threading on there. There we go. There we go. Okay. Just like it's supposed to be. Alright. I'll hook this fuel back up. I really should have bought a fuel line while I was there to test it, but I didn't. Well, what I was going to test, when I say test it, let me move this thing up some. Okay, when I was talking about testing it, it requires this fuel pump to pull it because the tank is lower than the carburetor basically. So if I had tapped in there with a tank of gas up here where it could use gravity fed, because this is a carburetor, it's not fuel injected, and it ran fine, then you would have known it was a fuel issue. The pump was out, the filter's clogged up, something like that. So that would eliminate that stuff. It's a very cheap way of checking it to eliminate it. Now, you know, I've rebuilt the carburetor. I checked that to see the flow. I turned it over and it seemed to be flowing fine. So I'm hoping it will. But anyway, that's what I was talking about, just doing a rough check, see if it was an electrical issue. Alright, now, plugs. This was the old plug, by the way. I don't know if you can see it. It's cracked. The ceramic's cracked all up, cracked over this way. Obviously that's not what you want. That's a smaller plug. Nope. It's always good to check them though. Make sure that they're not too long or something. Now people gap these, and there's nothing wrong with that. Most of the time, the gap it comes with is good. What am I doing right now? I found that if my fingernail fits in there snug, then it's a good fit. And it's a good fit. Alright. Now, is that scientific? No. But it's always worked. But again, most of the time you can just leave the factory gap in there and they'll work. Mechanics say, oh, but they'll work. They will work. That one's already gapped up close to pretty much. A little tiny bit. Nope, there it is. I'm just wondering if one of these coils isn't going out, and it's very possible, especially after the strain it's been under with that ceramic being bad.